All right, here we are. Here we are. We're live. What is that? In a world with so many choices. Ooh. What is it? Fruity Pebble Crisp. Mmm. Ooh. Oh. Okay. That could be dangerous. So I have I have just wait. Can I see the here we go. So hello everybody. So the producer has brought me some of these. So if you've never had these, I will take a couple at this point. They are
smushed dehydrated.
A Fruity Pebble chip. That's what we're talking about right here. Fruity Pebble chip. That is absolutely incredible. Oh my god. They make a Fruity Pebble crisp. So they make a Fruity Pebble. Where am I here? A Fruity Pebble crisp. It's literally flattened, dehydrated Fruity Pebbles in a chip. Oh my god. So good. So good. So good. What's happening, everybody? Welcome on in. What is going on? Welcome, everybody. As you can see, judging by the where am I? The name here. I am using StreamYards tonight, and the logo. Where am I here? Why am I all backwards? The logo right up there, right? StreamYards. Yes, Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles. So we are.
They make cocoa ones too.
Oh, they make cocoa pebbles. They make cocoa too, I guess. So, we're gonna use Streamlabs the next few streams, just so I can kind of get used to it, I guess, because I'm gonna be using it in a couple of weeks. Shh, little ears are afoot. Oh, cool. So, discussing future face painting. Actually, you know what I thought about too was when that happens, we may do that on StreamYards also, so we can. Oh, that's interesting. So we can use the guest feature and add people in. So that's kind of neat. Let me see. Like, I can invite guests, it says, right? Now, somehow people had links posted, right? Where if you wanted to come in, you just hit the link and you kind of wait in the lobby to join. So I'm not really sure how to do that. That's what I'm going to try to figure out the next couple of weeks here, the next couple of streams, is how to post those links to do that. It should be a maybe it should be. Hope everybody's been good. I wanted to hop on last night, but it wasn't working out. I've been working some really long days, but I thought I'd hop on tonight and we talk a little beer, a little Disney. We definitely talk a little bit of football, and I'll give you an update on my car, since I've had my car now for 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Somewhere around there. Been about 2 weeks. if I'm not happy with it, you can help. I'm sure you wouldn't mind. So today, I'm trying to think. I got it on January, I want to say the 22nd. That sound right? I can't remember what day it was. It was, let me look back at my calendar. So I got the car on the 23rd. On the 23rd, and today's the 4th. So what do we got? We got 7. We're at like 10 days, and in 10 days, I put on quite a bit of mileage. I'd have to go and check the odometer, but I am pretty sure. I know I'm definitely over. I know I'm over 1,000 for sure. I think I am pushing somewhere around 1,800 to 2,000 miles in the first like 12 days I've owned the car. So, hey, Coach N, what's going on? So the Tesla has been absolutely fantastic for me. So let's start there, I guess, right? So I get the car on Sunday, which you guys all saw. You guys saw that. The next day, I leave to go away for work. So I go away for a week's training. I put on, give or take, somewhere around, had to be, I don't know, 800 or 900 miles easily in that week I was gone because of where I had to drive to. The car handled like incredible. It was weird not having hands on the wheel, and since then, since I've come back, it's running great. I love driving it. It is super cost effective. What's up, Brian K? Hello, Max. It is super cost effective. And that's even with paying for the premium charging that Tesla offers, which is, depending upon the charger you go to, anywhere from 29 to 36 cents a kilowatt. Really, a really like big charge. Of course, it costs different, depending upon where you live in the country. Like the most I paid to charge that car at any one time was $13. Since then, the average has been under $10 every time I've charged it. And it's only going to get cheaper as my home electric rate is about 14 cents per kilowatt. It's 14.65 cents per kilowatt. So 14, almost 15 cents per kilowatt. So I figure if I'm lucky, it'll be it'll be $5 a day or less for me to charge that car after using it. So holds up pocket. Yeah, holding up the pocket watch. Nice try. But it's just incredible to drive. It's so much fun to drive that I going just back and forth to work. I have not really used the full self-driving mode a ton. I have used it, if I'm trying to grab a bite of my breakfast sandwich or grab a sip of coffee, and I need to take my hands off the wheel for a second, of course, while always paying attention. I have engaged it, but it is so much fun to drive because it is so smooth. I have found it to be a little loud on the highway, but there's no engine noise to drown anything out. So what I'm hearing is literally just the wind blowing over the car and the wheels on the pavement. That's the noise I'm hearing. It can be quite loud, but I mean, it's really small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. So I need to, after we got our 2 feet of snow dumped on us last weekend, because that was supposed to be my weekend to install my home charger. which obviously didn't happen. I came back a day early. I was home late Thursday night, early Friday morning instead of coming home on Friday from where I was. And I spent all day Friday prepping for the snow that was coming on Saturday. So I worked my fire station with a few other guys from 5 in the morning Saturday till 9 o'clock Saturday night. And then Sunday when I got up, there was, of course, a bunch of, digging out to do. And, with 2 feet of snow, some of the drifts were, 5 and 6 feet high. Our cars were buried. It blew right across it. The driveway. It buried my neighbor's car. I mean, it was pretty incredible. We haven't had a really good blizzard like that in quite a few years. So spent the day Sunday doing that. Thankfully, my neighbors are, I can't even tell you how fantastic my neighbors are. So when he was out snow blowing his driveway, we have almost like a shared driveway at the bottom half. He opened up a spot for me to pull in when I was done working the fire station. So that was wicked awesome of him. So I do have some suds, not fine tasting suds, but I do have some suds. The place I was at was Fort Indiantown Gap, which is out in the Hershey Park area. I hit up Schnitz Creek a couple of nights with some of the people I was with. We hit up this other place called the Moose LZ. LZ means landing zone. So, that was a nice area. Schnitz Creek is great if you ever get a chance to go out there. On the way home, I did stop by Hershey Park real quick just to duck into the gift shop. And, on the way by, I was, amazed just to see all those roller coasters like sticking up in the sky. I was like, man. So maybe once the weather's nicer, we're all gonna hop in the car and take a ride out there and go on some of the rides, because some of those roller coasters, I was like, wow, look at them all. So that was that. And then this week it's just been work, getting back into the groove of things, getting caught up on stuff. So we're doing that. I got to work tomorrow. We're working an extra day tomorrow, so put in a little overtime, which is good. Station duty on Sunday, so trying to find time to put in that wall charger. Time is very short. So I don't know with StreamYards if the gambling thing is going to work. I'm not sure how that works. Is it working? I haven't really been paying attention to the chat on the computer over here on the side. So then we got through the week, and I was going to do something Tuesday, but right now, without having the wall charger at home, what's been happening is I have to stop. At the supercharger, which the closest one on the way home is a little bit before the midway point as I drive home. So I stopped there. Hey, Snoopy, what's happening? Welcome in. So, I stopped there, and it's 25-minute stop to charge the car up. So that just adds to the day, because then from that point, it's still a 40-minute ride home. So, I leave work, I drive 20-ish minutes, stop, charge the car for 25, 30 minutes, drive another 45 minutes home. So it's been a lot of long days on top of my basketball season has started. So typically the games are usually like Tuesday, Friday, but this week the schedule's been off. So I've had 2 games this week. I was supposed to have one tonight, got canceled. We have a really bad rain today, but now it's all turned to ice because the temperature like plummeted. So, so that's why I've just run out of time this week to do my normal Tuesday, Thursday, which I was hoping to get to, especially on Tuesday. because not only is it the playoffs, like the football, NFL, it's playoffs, but now the Olympics have started. So at 8 o'clock, which is in about 25 minutes, they're gonna have the opening ceremonies, which have already happened for the Winter Olympics. Excuse me, which are in Beijing. The actual opening ceremonies happened, I want to say it was two days ago. We're at February 4th. I think the opening ceremonies were essentially in the wee hours of the morning for us on February 3rd. The games themselves have been going on for a couple of days already, but NBC, I think it's NBC, yes, NBC tonight is going to broadcast the Winter Olympic opening. Now, historically, I've always found that the Winter Olympics, their openings are not, I mean, they're grand, but they're not usually as grand as the Summer Olympics. So, but for the next couple of weeks, until February 16th or 18th, it's like 2 weeks, right? So the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be talking about the Olympics. I love the Olympics, and I love all the odd stuff. Curling is my sport, so I'm going to talk a bunch of curling. So far, I've watched the mixed doubles. The United States has not won either. They have looked, okay at times. They've thrown some stones and made some shots that were difficult, very difficult, and yet some of the easy stuff they've just totally whiffed on. So, sorry, Triton. Hello, Eleanor. I don't know if the Lee P, what's going on? Chazaku 3.0. You got Streamlabs. Yeah, try it, man. Can't hurt. The gambling stuff, all the chat games don't work with StreamYards. So like the curling thing, it's they haven't been spot on. Believe it or not, the Italians have looked really, really good, which is kind of nice to see. Usually they've done okay in the past. Their men's team has done really well at times. But their mixed doubles team, which is what we get to watch right now, has looked phenomenal. Sweden looked really strong last night when I was watching them against Canada. But Canada, honestly, looked really weak. The Canadian team, I think it was a Canadian team, if I remember correctly, was actually a husband-wife team, which was kind of cool to hear, So hopefully for those of you that are west of me, you have not gotten buried by too much snow or ice. I know the weather's been really garbage. We have a guy that I work with lives about 20 minutes outside of the Tappan Zee Bridge, and they said the weather upstate and west, a little westward, was going to be kind of nasty. So hopefully you guys haven't gotten too buried. I hope not. But we're going to get into all sorts of stuff, like for instance, like women's hockey lost a player the other night. They figure she's out with an injury. They had, if you watch the opening tonight of the Olympics, one of the two flag bearers will be John Schuster, who is the skipper, the captain of the men's curling team. And while yes, yeah, sure, I'm gonna come dig you out, Triton. I'm on the way in my Tesla, shovel in the back where I have to fold the seat down because the trunk's so small it doesn't fit. And you'll probably hear me say this a couple times over the next few weeks. While I do love curling, and I know the United States, yes, we won a gold medal in it finally, yay. I am not a very big fan of John Schuster. I got to tell you, I am not. How him and his teams keep making it is beyond me, because the last two Olympic trials they've gone to, They barely made it to the finals. And when they got to the finals, the last 2 trials that they've had to go through, they've lost the first game. And when I tell you lost the first game, they got smoked. They were actually, the trials were out in Nebraska at the University of Nebraska's Baxter Arena, my school I'm currently enrolled in.
Known for hockey.
Yeah, known for hockey. I've actually been to that arena. I walked across the stage to collect my bachelor's degree. So, they went there and they had the team they were playing in the finals. The skipper of the team they were playing, the kid is actually from about 30 minutes from my house. He was from Stoughton, I think, somewhere. I remember thinking, oh, it's only about 20, 30 minutes from my house. And they got totally skunked. And then all of a sudden, 2 trials in a row, they win the last 2 games back to back to make it to the Olympics. He does not impress me as a player. He's not terrible, but he's really not just great. His throws are okay. I think his strategy is really what kills him. But we'll see. Supposedly, everybody's saying that the United States has a really good chance at winning a couple of medals in curling. We'll have to wait and see. The women's team was actually impressive last Olympics. They had some really good games, and that's like I said, that's my sport. But I watch them all. I watch everything I can. If it's on, I'm watching it. Cross country skiing, downhill skiing, the ice skating I don't really get into. I'll watch it if it's on TV, but I don't. I don't live for the ice skating. That's probably my least favorite. And they have all kinds of really cool stuff. So we'll start talking about that as the weeks go on. And you know what? Maybe if I can, I'll throw in a couple of extra streams just specifically for Olympic talk. But first and foremost, we're talking about Fireball. Yes, please. 2 fireballs per hole is weak sauce. We need 3. So, oh, Charzaku. That is Nicholas Botello. Oh, Nicholas. What's up, Nicholas? Love it. Nice job, kid. Fooled us all. Triton, you are 100% correct. If there was a beer drinking competition, I've got my team. I know who it is. I know who's coming with me. And we are 100% going to win gold. We train all year for that. But in bigger news, for those of you that follow the NFL, guess what? We're in the bye week. So it's the week off before the Super Bowl, where we will see the Cincinnati Bengals take on the LA Rams. So the Bengals and the Rams, it'll be it's not a game, like I said a couple weeks back. It's not it's not really it's not a game I'm looking forward to. I don't know. There's not a lot of the teams themselves aren't really flashy. It'll be a close game. I think it'll be a close game. I think it could come down to 3 points or less. But it's not one that I'm like, ooh, I gotta watch. It's not like no Aaron Rodgers. There's no Tom Brady. There's no Russell Wilson. There's none of them guys. So I don't know. To me, I'm kind of like, But that halftime show looks like it is going to be absolutely kick-ass. I cannot wait for that halftime show. It might be an okay game. Maybe I'll have to eat my words and say, wow, that was great. I will say, though, in terms of NFL playoffs, that this has been by far I can't even remember how long. This has been my favorite playoffs to watch as a whole. The playoff games in the NFL this year have been, bar none, some of the most exciting football I've watched in years. The way a lot of those games just went back and forth and right down to the wire and overtimes. And what, 3 of those games were won by like either an overtime touchdown or somebody kicking a field goal. So many crazy things that went on. Go Bills. Yeah, and there's been a lot of moves, right? There's that whole Brian Flores. So Brian Flores was the coach in Miami, who they fired, who was actually a winning coach, although his first season there he tanked pretty hard. But the last 2 seasons he was there, you can see the trend where he was getting better. He was pretty much 500 over 3 years. In his first year, I think he only won, 2 or 3 games all year? I mean, they were terrible. So they let him go. They fired him. He goes to interview for a couple of other jobs. He had a pretty good feeling about going to the New York Giants. And Bill Belichick sent a text message to him because he had the wrong Brian. The Giants actually hired Brian Daboll, who was the offensive coordinator for the Bills. But by mistake, Belichick sent a text message to Brian Flores, who had interviewed for the job, and said, hey, I heard from Buffalo and from the Giants that you're going to get this job. Congratulations. And Brian Flores, if you read the text messages, they were just like, he was like, what? Coach? And the text message reply from Belichick is, oh, I just effed this up. I'm sorry. You didn't get the job. They're giving it to Daboll, blah, blah, blah. So it's been all over the news. And Daboll has actually got Brian Flores actually has a class action lawsuit now going against the NFL. And it seems that he's got a pretty strong case. So, the NFL has this Rooney, they call it the Rooney rule, that they go by, which basically says that, when you are hiring for a coaching position, you will interview at least 2 non-white candidates, typically black. I mean, the NFL is 70% black. And out of the candidates you do interview, you have to interview 2 external and 1 internal candidate at a minimum. So these are all like minimum criteria. And basically the class action lawsuit from Brian Flores says that based on the text message he got from Bill Belichick, which was before his interview, he has a case saying that they are using unfair hiring practices, and they only interviewed him because they had to, and he didn't really have a fair shot at the job. And it seems that things are starting to stack up in his favor because there are more coaches coming out and people associated with NFL in terms of owners and coaching trees that are starting to back up his claims going back many, many years. And as a matter of fact, there is one owner who is sort of almost implicated himself in doing a practice like that. Just really a really discriminatory hiring practice. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Who is Aaron Rodgers? What's up, CeeLo? Aaron Rodgers is a rumor. Hey, Taint, that he's moving to Tennessee. It could be. I don't see him going there, but it's a system set up to win. I really see him. Boy, I'll tell you what. Really, a great spot for Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, is Denver. When you look at everything they got stacked up out there for people for him to throw to, I mean, that's incredible. And really, you know what? They could probably get him. I mean, they'd have to pay some money, but really, Denver is like a really good quarterback away from being a playoff and Super Bowl contender. So Aaron Rodgers would be like a perfect fit there. And the other really good fit I could see going over there would actually be Gronk. Now, the speculation is that like Gronk would retire because he's always said, oh, he wants to do nothing but play with Brady, and Brady's retired. But really, if Gronk was smart, he's probably got 2 to 3 good years left in him. He could go out there, work the opposite end of the line as Waller, have a really easy schedule during the week, probably get a day off, and then when he plays, he's going to be that third down red zone tight end, catching passes in the end zone. Nobody's going to be throwing him hospital balls. He'll probably grab $8 or $9 million to play, and probably if they can get a quarterback like a Rodgers in there, or maybe so Russell Wilson or whoever, they're gonna have a real good chance of winning the Super Bowl. So that could be an awesome setup out there. Aaron Rodgers starting QB for the Titans. Maybe. I don't know. He's building a house in Franklin. Really? Well, maybe he is planning on moving down there. He will be in Buffalo. I don't know. I don't know about that. And then, of course, the Patriots are, we're still in the middle of a rebuild here, but we lost our offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, to the Raiders as soon as we lost one of our player management. I don't know how to describe, but he was like player acquisition. So he goes to the Raiders to be the GM, brings Josh McDaniels with him. The speculation that Brady may come out of retirement after a year to go and play with him. I don't know. Maybe if he's in good shape, he's probably, currently as it stands, I mean, Brady's retiring, but I mean, look at what he does. He is still better than like half the quarterbacks in the NFL, and that's him at 45 years old. So I don't know if he stays in good shape, maybe. I can't really see him coming out of retirement at 45, 46. It just doesn't make sense. That's really, really old for anybody to be playing in the NFL. So I don't see that happening. Will be interesting to see who the Patriots replace as their offensive coordinator. I don't know. There's a lot of people. We hear just a bunch of names like Billy O'Brien, is a good candidate to come back, which I hope not, but maybe he'll come back. I'm not really sure. I don't know. But the NFL is going to be in great upheaval. There's going to be so many coaching openings, coming up. Gronk to the Bills, hometown boy. Wouldn't that be something? Gronk going out there to the Bills. He would actually probably, in all seriousness, Gronk would probably have some really, really good success with the Bills, only because Josh Allen. Gronk can get open. Allen can keep the ball alive and make plays with his feet to extend the play. That could be a really good combination, But, it wouldn't surprise me if Gronk retires either. So I don't know how much this gets around outside of New England, but when he was here in New England, probably his 4th or 5th year in, he'd already won at least one, maybe 2 Super Bowls with the team. And, he went on the record saying that what he does is he takes his yearly salary and he was banking it all. And he was just living off of his endorsements. So any endorsement, any commercial he was doing, that's what he was living off of. And his yearly salary, he was just taking and socking away. So when his football career was over, he could go on and still live, a comfortable life. But can you imagine Gronk going to the Raiders with Josh McDaniels? Oh, imagine that. Imagine Josh going, hey, look, we're bringing Tom out of retirement. You want to come back? Actually, that could be kind of fun. That could be. But can you imagine him going to play for like Josh McDaniels? He kind of knows the offense. He'd have a really easy time of it out there. Couple days a week, whatever. But Gronk on the loose in Vegas for a year or two. What penthouse is he on? It's the one with the disco ball that goes all night long. I mean, think about that. He's making millions of dollars, getting to live in Vegas. He's got a Sports Illustrated, swimsuit issue girlfriend. So Cindy, welcome in.
Huggy?
Really? Huggy? Yes, Huggy. Huggy. Okay. Night, Bell.
Like that.
He scored one of the touchdowns. Really? That's very cool. That is very cool. Hey, make sure if you're coming on in, you've hit that like button. Thanks for hanging out. Stick around for a little while. This won't be a very long one tonight because I'm going to go watch the Olympics. It's my only free night between this week that's just ending and all of next week. I think. I might have a free night next week. I gotta make a free night. Maybe we'll do some Olympic curling. We'll call some Olympic curling, some mixed doubles. Mixed doubles are nice. I wouldn't mind calling the curling games that are the full person teams, either men or women's, but they can be kind of long. Mixed doubles goes quick because they throw less stones. And I've been looking for a curling club for a long time, and they actually have one close to me now. So I'm thinking that I may go try my hand at some curling. Anyways, all I'm drinking, it was quick and easy. Just a Blue Moon tonight. Thanks for being here.
Oh, so I don't know how you still here.
Hope you've all had a great week. Coach, you were in a curling team for 8 years?
Shut the front.
Come on. Seriously? How cool is that?
I want proof.
That is awesome. The producer's like, I want proof. 12-ounce Taint. Taint's like, I do 12-ounce curls. Uh-huh.
That's it. I'm all done brushing it. I'm all done brushing it.
Oh, cool, Cindy. That's awesome. Sarah J., what's up? Welcome in. I would love to try curling. That is my goal. Get me on a curling team. At least for some good fun. I figure it's like the ice version of bowling to a certain extent. Oh, cool, Coach. I would love to see that. Yeah, shoot me a text message with them. Sarah J. Curls. Oh, I have found my people. I knew I loved these people. I have found my people. Beer and curling do go together. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sarah J., you curl your hair and it looks pretty when I do. I walked into that one. Should have known that was coming. I curled my hair today. Actually, I got to cut it. Get a haircut. I tried curling my hair. Yes, the Conair curler with the pink hair dryer from 1980. I did have super curly hair when I was very young, and I actually had hair. My hair was super curly. I didn't even have to curl it. People are like, oh my God, look at all those curls, blah, blah, blah. I hated it when I was young. Now I'm like, oh, I wish I had hair. So, I guess so. I misjudged you. I am, and I got to set up what days, but I think on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, I think I'm going to be on Anthony the Molar Man's show when he's doing like the match game stuff. I think I'm supposed to be a contestant that night. So we're going to try to make sure we're working that out. And I am in talks with Pete. So I think I'm going to make an appearance on his show in the next week or so. We're going to do a little Disney talk because we are going to start getting into that a little bit more. You still have to return it 12 years later. That's funny.
Yeah, wanting to look at Christmas things.
So, we are definitely going to start talking a little bit more Disney, and what a better time than now, considering what's going to be happening very shortly here, right? So, let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on down in the House of Mouse, right? So, there has been a lot of stuff, obviously, happening in the last couple of years between the pandemic or whatever. But one of the more notable things is obviously Tron. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Bill. Love you. Good night.
Good night.
So, one of the oh, cool. So, Sarah, hopefully you get there though. So one of the big things we all know has been Tron. They've rerouted the train, but in a positive step, the train was actually spotted running. So they're starting to test the tracks again. So that's great. So that's going to be making a comeback. They are making progress on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So they've finally gotten the ship up in the front. It's like 50 feet tall. It's 54 feet wide. It's huge. It's like real life, full size. So that's going up there. Their art festival is going on right now, which kind of works out as part of my plan, because when we go down there, you guys are going to get a tour of Shades of Green, which is great. That's awesome. It's the only resort I've never stayed at, but now I have the opportunity to stay there, so we took advantage of it. But we actually decided to go to Disney a day earlier than intended, because we are going to buy. We bought a 1-day ticket for Epcot on Monday, the 21st, I believe the date is 21st, 24th. I think it's the 21st. And we are going to go to the last day of the Arts Festival. So that whole day is going to be, when I'm on a walker, that whole day is going to be the Arts Festival. We are going to try to hit as many food booths as we can to try the food. And obviously, if you guys have ever watched my Disney streams, when I live stream from there in July, you know what I like to do when I go down there. I always have a drink in my hand. So we are going to try all the different beers and wines and some of the unique, the couple of mixed drinks that they have down there that are unique to the festival. Tank, that's a really good question. Oh, Coach. Yes, sir. Come on over. The progress does seem so slow, right? So, Tank, you bring up a good question. We have been debating whether we're going to take the Tesla or not. So here are the pros and cons, right? So the Tesla is going to be, by and large, way cheaper to drive. Tolls are the tolls no matter what vehicle we take. Where we make up for stuff is in gas money, right? So essentially what we're going to pay to take our van which gets incredible gas mileage, by the way. It's nothing, it's no hybrid gas mileage, but for a big vehicle, when you're talking 25, 26 gallons on the highway to the mile, that's great gas mileage for a big vehicle. The Tesla would use half the amount of gas to go down and back. So we save a few bucks there. The trade-off is, Sarah J, I keep one in each hand very often when I'm there. It's typically for us, it's we only really do it in Epcot. Every now and then we'll hit up the Baseline Tap House over in Hollywood Studios, or we'll grab something at the Tusker House or whatever, Animal Kingdom there, Jawa Bar, maybe at the Yak and Yeti Bar, but typically never empty and usually double-fisted. But anyways, getting back to my point. So taking the Tesla is going to add probably like at least 5, probably more like 6 hours to the drive. So, hey, Uncle Orville, what is happening? To be the Antarctic bathtub frozen over. So that is the great debate that me and the producer have been having. Is that, is it worth just sucking it up, paying a little extra money and getting down there? But yeah, reduce space, time refueling. The space thing we could, right? Yeah, Coach, exactly. So the space thing we could, we could probably manage with. It wouldn't be what we normally would do. We'd do a modified version of what we normally do. But for me is I like to drive straight through. I mean, I get up, I'll leave my house 2 or 3 a.m. and just drive, and typically by like 11 o'clock at night, I'm rolling into my resort that same day. It is really, it's like 18 or 19 hours for me, typically on the average, but it's really like 25 hours if I take the Tesla. So I don't know. That's kind of the debate we're having right now. So hammer down and drive. That's it. Hammer down and drive. I mean, I'm only going to drive so fast. I typically try to keep it at 75, maybe stretch it to 80 once we get south, and we hit the southern part of Virginia and the road really opens up. You might see me doing 75 to 80, but not much more. So, that's exciting to be going down there and doing that. We are going to go on rides. We're probably going to wait in a few lines. Try not to wait in too many for too long, because who wants to do that? Some of the other things that have been going on down there, right, is so Splash Mountain's getting some work done. Expedition Everest is getting some work done. They're obviously working on Tron. They are unrolling the canopy, which is great. I believe, if I am not mistaken, I think Expedition Everest is actually closed the week we're there, because they are going to be closing it soon, just for regular maintenance purposes, like they do every year right around this time. A lot of the rides, they rotate through closures because they're going to, they got to do the maintenance to keep them up to make sure that they're safe. So, Coach N85, I do not get the Florida, Georgia Sun Pass. The last time I looked into it, it wasn't available for non-residents. I don't know if that's changed. So typically I just blow through the toll booth and let them charge me. Oh, it's already closed. Yeah, see, I knew it was closing, and I knew it's going to be closed while we're there. So The expensive part's hiring the Black Firebird and the driver as the lead. So, night, Belle. Love you too, kid. See you in the morning. Yep. So, but typically there's not too many tolls really. Once you get out of the northeast corridor, the northeast we'll call it northeast to mid-Atlantic corridor. Once you get south of Arlington and you get out of that they made this really awesome south of Washington D.C. It goes from Washington D.C. to is it Fredericksburg, Virginia, or just stops a couple miles shy of Fredericksburg, Virginia. They made this really awesome. It's like 6 lanes, and they have all these gates they open and close. So all the traffic uses all the 4 or 6 lanes or whatever's there. All goes the same way. I get in that lane every time it's open going my direction. I don't care how the traffic's moving. And I have found more often than not, the little extra I pay to go through that part in terms of toll money is so well worth, those times when I've gotten to the other end and there's like a 3-mile backup of the regular 3-lane 95 that is just traffic is practically stopped and you're blowing by the whole thing and you get to the end and you merge into traffic and you still get a mile or 2 of traffic that's just not moving. But it's better than sitting in the extra 3 or 4 miles that's still behind it. So, yeah, that HOV lane is wicked badass, Coach. I love that thing. So there's been a couple times where we've gone down and we've caught it's been the wrong time and traffic was coming at us. So it wasn't open for us because traffic was going the opposite way in it. Traffic was okay. It's really all about timing. But might be driving down 75 next week to Orlando and flying back. Wow. Okay. 75, huh? Yeah, that's not a bad way to go either. Yep. I'm just reading back through the chat. Yep. South of Delaware. Yep. Yeah. Because once the Easy Pass is done, right, which is pretty much northeast mid-Atlantic corridor, once you get by there, the driving becomes easy. 95 goes down to 2 lanes, but the speed picks up. You're doing at least 70 miles an hour. I'll be honest with you, I'll do between 75 and 80 in the low speed lane, and I'm very often, getting passed by not only other cars, but by tractor trailers and everything else on the left. So, the driving becomes much, much easier. The only thing that really messes it up is if you get to an accident, or if they're doing some sort of road maintenance, which doesn't happen very often outside of them cutting the grass. If you've ever driven 95, really, once you get into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, there is so much shredded tire and rubber on the road. It looks like a NASCAR race. There's alligators all over the place. Blown up tractor trailer tires, alligators. Looks like an alligator back. So Buc-ee's. I love a good Buc-ee's stop. Right through Hotlanta. Yeah, I've driven that before when I've had some extra time. It's not a terrible route. What's funny is I often find, one of my best friends in the entire world lives in Savannah. So, when we're passing through there, we've stopped a couple of times to see him. I don't know if we're going to stop again this time. I haven't really gotten that far yet in the plans on the way home. But, we get there and I'm like, all right. I know when I get here, there's a good chance we're like 3 to 4 hours away. Like, okay, depends upon traffic, depends upon weather. Sometimes that Florida rain, man. Ooh, man. So then you're driving. And then, you get to the I-4 split, which is basically Daytona, and you start looking at like, oh, there's Daytona. And you make that right-hand turn, you take that split. And like from that point on, I'm like, man, I know I can do this in a little over an hour. As long as the traffic's okay and the weather ain't terrible. You're so close at that point. You can almost taste it. Thanks, Taint. Yeah, there's been a lot of storms up and down, from really, if you're looking, if you look where the Mississippi River is, and if you look the south and then all up like the East Coast, it's been, they have been getting hammered. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll knock on some wood. It'll be a uneventful and quick journey down and back. So I am going to, while I'm driving, I am going to flip the camera on. Probably more during the daytime than the night. The nighttime, it's hard enough to concentrate, and with the lights reflecting off the ground. So probably turn it on, probably flip it on and off. I was going to do a whole stream from beginning to end, like soup to nuts, right? Get in the car, mount the camera, plug it in, turn on the video, and then just go. That would literally be, a 20-hour video, which in my own brain sounds cool, but really the practicality of it is just not, I don't think it really makes sense to do it that way, but I do think I would flip it on a few times, say, oh, look, we're driving here, we're driving there. How's everybody doing? All right. We'll check back with y'all in a few hours and cross the Florida line and flip it on then. And as we're pulling into, Disney World, we'll flip it on then. So what is that, right? A caffeinated beverage and cruise to Orlando. That's it, Coach. That's what we're going to grab. That's fantastic. Auto drive. Yeah, if I take the Tesla and put it in full self-driving mode, get myself one of those counterweights for the steering wheel, just sit back and let the car do the driving. Which actually worked out well. Where I found that to be most useful is, believe it or not, in heavy traffic. When you weren't cruising along at 70 miles an hour, but you're only doing like 40 or 45 or 50 because traffic was just heavy and not moving. That full self-driving was great because, you're going slow enough where if the car needs to stop itself in an emergency situation, it just jacks up on the brakes and does it. And it can at that speed stop almost instantaneously. So, but I mean, full self-driving mode is it is really neat. It allows me to look at things, take a longer look at stuff I probably wouldn't if I was driving. If I see something that catches my eye, like I'm one of those people, because a lot of my previous jobs involved operating heavy equipment, and I was always around a lot of like trades workers. So like if I see a power plant off to the side of the road, I'm always like kind of checking it out. I worked in a power plant for about a year or so as a maintenance guy. So I'm always kind of like, oh, what do they got going on over there? Oh, look at, they're doing construction. Oh, look at the crane swinging steel. So the full self-driving mode allows me to just kind of look at that stuff and take a longer look, which is great. I mean, I love that. So hopefully a lot of you guys will join us on our adventure that week. I think I'm going to try between now and then, there's a lot going on. The Olympics, got the Super Bowl. It's going to be happening. We're going to try to take a long weekend drive somewhere. So maybe we'll find a destination place to go, and you're hunting the whole way down. Yeah. So hopefully you guys will stick around for that stuff. Like I said, we're going to use Streamlabs a lot the next couple of weeks just so I can get used to it. For those of you that have used Streamlabs, I am going to ask some questions about inviting people in. I know I can, it says I can add a guest. So if I hit the add guest, I have to invite the guest and then copy the clipboard. It's copied. So, right. So if I do this, and then I think I can leave a comment, right? So if I can leave a comment. Oh, there it is. So there it is. Now, I don't know if they have like a way to pin this. But, oh, yeah, I started. So take the family to Cocoa Beach for the day. So my wife and daughter would probably love it. I hate the beach. You know what's funny, though, is like, so Stephanie likes the beach. She does. She likes beach. There's a beach called Mayflower Beach out in Dennis that her and her family love to go to. And that is really, you know, like if I ask her to go to like a horse neck or this or that, she would probably go, yeah, all right, we'll go. But, you know, most beaches, she's just kind of like, there's a lot of people this end, you know, but Mayflower Beach, she will never say no to. But she definitely, she likes the beach for sure. So there's a pier with a great bar. That is where you will find me, on the pier at the great bar. Is anybody watching the Olympics tonight, by the way? I know the opening ceremonies are going on now, but I'm going to watch them a little later. I actually have Disney stuff I'm planning. We got a couple of cool things I think I've said we're going to do. I haven't really let the cat out of the bag on what they are. Hopefully one of them I know I can do. It's a matter of trying to pull it off. You know, we'll see. One of them's really cool. The other one, they're both cool, but one of them is really like over the top cool. It's one I've already done, and the other one I haven't done. So the one of them will be a first time, and the other one will be a repeat. And once you see what they are, they're on 2 different days. I'll let you guys figure out which one I've done before and which one I haven't. Let's see. Yeah, I would. You know what's funny is when it comes to the Olympics, this one just, I don't know. There's not a lot of bite. There's not a lot of sizzle to it, I guess, sort of. So I feel like I know I'm definitely going to watch the Olympics, but I kind of feel the same way where I'm kind of like, I don't know. It hasn't caught my attention like many of the other Olympics have in the past. And I mean, I like the winter and the summer, but typically the Winter Olympics are my favorite. But you know, it's just something like I'm like, but I'm gonna make it a point to watch them because I don't know. It's the Olympics. I'm like, all right, every 2 years. You know what I do enjoy watching outside of curling is the skeleton. I love watching the skeleton, and only because, and this is terrible, this is horrific, but I'm just watching for somebody to bite it. I mean, they're head first on a sled going down an ice luge at like 80 miles an hour, there is just, crashes. Like, seriously, Exactly, coach. It's China. Gonna crawl on my side about it. Why? It's China. Yeah, I have to agree. And I think I get the feeling that that's why there's a lot of kind of not fanfare for it this year. It's just the political turmoil between basically China and almost the rest of the world. I think has just turned, what should be something great to enjoy and I would even say celebrate. It's just kind of been like meh. So, and even outside of the political turmoil, the humanitarian stuff that goes on in that country is just it makes your head spin. Some of the crazy stuff they do over there. So, yep, it is kind of lacking. I think there's a lot of issues that countries and stuff are rolling through, and internally and externally, and I just feel that, and I don't think it's just us. I think it's a majority of the world's just kind of like meh. All right, we got bigger things that we're worried about besides the Olympics. Everybody's trying to, in their own way, battle this pandemic, depending upon what country you live in. And oh well, look at that. We must have somebody from Tibet. Who wants to do it? Somebody can do it. You know what to do. Send the Tibetan back to the Yeti. Thanks, coach. That's all I can think of when I see that. I'm like, Tibet. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they've done a lot of damage in a lot of different ways, Coach got him. Yes. Coach, how would you know that that's what that bot does? That's what I want to know. You've been hanging out with Costa Mom again. You too. But maybe maybe if I'm lucky and I'm hoping I'll get lucky and my work will send me back out somewhere, you know, at least have me breeze by Hershey Park in the spring. That'd be great to be able to even just stop in there and check things out. I'd love to see it when it was fully open. Right on the left cheek. He says right on the left cheek. Uh, Anybody seen Devora lately? I thought for sure maybe we would see her pop in here. But anyways, I am gonna wrap this up. So we're gonna wrap this up. It's been like an hour and 10 minutes. That's fantastic. I thank everybody for hanging out with me. I am going to try to pop on a couple of times. I don't know the times themselves. So between watching Discord and seeing what other people have coming down the road, I'll try to plan my streams accordingly and try to hop on once or twice during the week. And we will talk definitely about the Super Bowl coming up. And I'm going to get the co-host back in here as she's been busy with, she got a new dog. So they've been busy taking care of the puppy. She's been traveling a bunch. And now they've finally gotten back home and is settled into a groove. So get her back on. We'll talk a little bit of Super Bowl. And she is also a very big fan of the Olympics, typically. So we'll get her take on it all. And we're going to try doing a couple of streams next week. And we'll see what happens. But for now, thank you all. Yeah, there's the new Discord, coach. There's a bunch of people. There's a lot of people on there. I recognize a lot of the older people, but there's been a bunch of new people added who I don't know. And I will try to update the events tab on the Discord, when I know it's coming. As soon as I can see what's happening, I don't want to step on other people, but yeah, we'll get it out there, and we'll see you guys this week. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much, Triton, and we will talk to you very soon. Thanks, y'all. Everybody have a great night, and hopefully we will see you very, very soon. See y'all later.